Yo, what's up guys? This is KWF Productions, and I'm making a video today about John Tortorella and how he will do with the Vancouver Canucks behind their bench. Obviously, Vancouver getting rid of a coach like Lambino, a good coach, is going to be a difference making for them. And I'm just going to talk about what John Tortorella can bring to the table to Vancouver. John Tortorella, the main thing that I've noticed about Tortorella, and a lot of people have, is his production with rookies. How he's done so well with young players. Look at Carl Hagelin, Chris Kreider, Derek Stepan over in New York, and how good they have done, and how good of players they have become. And they're still young, and they can become a lot better players. But they've done good under John Tortorella. And then you look at 2004 and the Stanley Cup winning team that Tortorella had. He had a very young team. Then he had Vincent Cavalier at a young age, Marty St. Louis, Dan Boyle, very young age. All these guys who were young, and he helped that young team win a Stanley Cup. And then you look at the Canucks and the young players they have. Obviously the Sedins, Ryan Kessler, not the youngest players. Ryan Kessler like 28, but the Sedins are in the 30s, and it's a veteran team in Vancouver. But that's what maybe the assistant coaches can help with a little bit more. Mike Sullivan, Glenn Gulletson. But Mike Gillis has said that he wants the Canucks to be a younger team. And, that's why there's going to be younger players into the Vancouver Canucks lineup. Maybe Jordan Schrader, the third line center spot. Brendan Gaunce, the third line center spot. And then there's also defensemen like Chris Tanev, who they just signed. Frankie Corrado, and obviously Zach Kassian, who has a lot of room to develop, and I think he's going to be a great player. And I think John Tortorella, he can help these young players become very good players. Because if you look at the draft, the last draft that just happened, it was a very good draft for Vancouver, especially the first four rounds. I mean, they took Jordan Subban in the 4th round, and then obviously you have Bo Horvat and Hunter Shinkarek, and then it just makes the whole Vancouver Canucks prospects pool, people who said it wasn't that strong of a prospects pool, it's now looking a lot stronger than it looked, just last year. Just because of the acquisitions of Hunter Shinkarek, Bo Horvat, Jordan Subban, and Cole Castles, a lot of good prospects that the Vancouver Canucks have had. And down the road, John Tortorella, depending how long he lasts in Vancouver, can help improve them and help develop them. John Tortorella has a 5-year deal now. If he will stay for the full 5 years, well, we're not sure about that. But I do think that Mike Gillis is probably not going to be in Vancouver when John Tortorella's contract expires. But John Tortorella, not only is he a good coach for young players, you look at Daryl Sutter with the LA Kings and how he was able to transform players like Andrei Kopitar into a two-way forward, a guy who's very good offensively, and Daryl Sutter was able to make him very good defensively without sacrificing his offense. And if John Tortorella, he said he wants to make the Sedins into good penalty killers. If John Tortorella can do that with the Sedins, make him to two good two-way hockey players, good in their own zone, and then good, obviously, like they are in the offensive zone, then I think this team will be a very good team. Because the Vancouver Canucks, just won the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years in 2011, so 3 years ago, and they have only had one playoff win since their Game 7 loss to Boston. And to me, the team hasn't got any worse. I mean, you look at players like David Booth that they've added, and this team, if anything, Vancouver, I think, is probably a better team. I mean, obviously you have players getting older, but it's still a very, very good hockey team. Just won the President's Trophy the year before this year. Again, 2 straight times. So it's still a very good team, and I think that's why that El Ambino was fired, because he couldn't get them to the next level, which is winning the Stanley Cup. So, a new voice in that dressing room is needed, and John Tortorella can hopefully help the Vancouver Canucks. But the question is, Vancouver is still a good team. But now you have teams like Los Angeles, you have teams like Boston, who's still a good team, and obviously Chicago in that Western Conference, which is still, which are very dominant teams, and questions are asked if Vancouver can still hang with them, if Vancouver can still play their type of hockey, and if they can beat them in a 7-game series, because we know that Vancouver's a good team, but are they able to compete with teams like Los Angeles and Chicago, who just won 2 Stanley Cups in 4 years? So it'll be interesting to see how Vancouver changes in under John Tortorella's control. I think that John Tortorella will do just fine, especially for 2 years in Vancouver. In the first couple of years, I think he will do just fine. Down the road, I'm not sure about, but for the beginning, I think it's a good hiring for Mike Gillis. I think he did a good job hiring John Tortorella, and Mike Sullivan and Glenn Gullison, great assistant coaches. And I look forward to Vancouver starting their season next year. So hopefully you guys like this video. Give me a thumbs up and comment below what you guys think about John Tortorella.